Hey, so this is a writing on the wall. I was going to pop in earlier, things got waylaid, as they do. So this is, hey John Hudson. It's okay. Anytime you can come in is good. It's tiring energies for a lot of people today. Hey Cordia, beautiful lady, both on Facebook. Much love to the Facebook family that's coming in. I appreciate you coming in for sure, for sure. So this is writing on the wall. Um, it's some of the videos that I do, just my considerations, either spiritual coaching, psychic, remote viewing, anything and everything. It's my writing on the wall, so to speak. And so, write I will. So I'll wait for a few people to come in and then we'll get started. We've got Cordia here on Facebook and John on Facebook. Much love to you too. I hope you've recovered, John. Had a good nap? Yeah? Had a good sleep? Oh, Cordia, thank you. There's Peter on YouTube, brother. He's taking it slow getting in. He'll get that joke. I heard him laugh. Okay, so spirals. Let's see. Love and favor to you, brother. So spirals. It's my consideration that in all of the traveling that I've done, slow and easy, all of the traveling that I've done, astral traveling, remote viewing, it's spirals. Often go through spirals. And what we're dealing with now is very much a spiral where we have these beings trying to mess with sacred spirals, being the DNA. And so, right from the within to the without, we're surrounded by spirals, and also spirals that we don't necessarily see, but for sure feel. And so, I want to talk about how there is this separation between being in the flow of spirals and being in uh, or around fixed energy when we are very evidently more of a spiral shape. And so creation being more of a spiral shape, within the body there are tubes that spiral down. Within the DNA structure, it's spiraled with one another. There's a connection between the two strands, but it's a spiral. So if I go to share the screen, and I've learned I can do a whiteboard on Zoom without too much trouble. So I've got, if you've got these spirals, that through each experience, we're building up these spirals. So in the physical, we have here in the physical, we've got these physical spirals going right through our DNA, right into the inner being of this biological suit. And let's call it the spiritual, yeah, for want of better words. So I'm not very good at writing on this whiteboard though. Spiritual, we have these spirals that connect us to ancestors. That was cool. I don't know how I did that line there, but ignore that line. So, do a line if I... No? I want a line there though, because that works. So, we've got these spirals in the physical body and in the spiritual connection that we have with those that we are connected to through DNA, through familial lines. And so, but we are also able to connect with those that maybe aren't on our familial line, separate beings, different beings that maybe would be described as being in the spiritual world. It's a very watered down, diluted, and fixed label in itself for the different beings that we can enter into these spirals with. it's very obvious to me that we have these frequencies that meet on these different points of the spiral. And so if I'm buzzing on this spot part of my DNA strand, and I see I come across a being or an ancestor, a guide that is also buzzing on this level of their spiral, it's very evident that I can make that jump in connection to be in a connected spiral for that moment in time, to be able to absorb the memory, the knowledge that is within that aspect of the spiral of the DNA of the being of the ancestor that I'm connecting to. So we're constantly in flow. Yes, life is in flow, and we find ourselves now in such fixed energies. Whatever this hijack is, it came in and it wanted to fix things. It wanted to box things off. It wanted to make boxes and categories for everything and everyone. And so the spiral for a lot of people, I feel we've gone so far down the line in this hijack, is there, but it's stuck in the box. And so you get these people that we're seeing now that are they'll spiral up and down their DNA code, but they've got like this glass floor and glass ceiling. So you'll find people walking around. One minute they're high, and the next minute you don't know how they're going to be. They've got anxiety and they're low. They're banging against the bottom of their box, or they're banging against the top of their box. I feel this is why we see a lot more increase in anxiety and in bipolar, because they're stuck in a box and just have not been taught or have lost the art through the generations of this DNA spiral, of this DNA line, to be able to transcend through the bottom and transcend through the top, and be able to not bang on anything, but be infinite in their spiral, in their experience. So with this boxed off energy, we find that this was with religion and the lies told within there, politics, law. This pen's doing weird things. Law, that's law. Contracts such as weddings. So let's go to that. So you find yourself in if you find yourself in a relationship. So if we're in a relationship and it's fun at first, the spirals, people are quite open to be in flow and explore. But many people, especially spiritually awake people, have gone through this experience of, getting with somebody who is seemingly free and easy and in flow with life in that spiral. Yet time goes on and you are still going up and down quite freely, reaching higher points and experiencing more of self in the root of self, going up and down this spiral quite free and easily, in flow as you should be. Life changes, these spirals expand and change. They even change to the fact that you implant parts of your spiral within a whole new spiral when you have a child. And so life is always in change and in creative flow, exploring itself in different ways. There are ancient plants that have been lost to ancient times. There are new plants now that have come around from parts of the structure of that ancient plant, but not in entirety the same plant. So you find yourself in these relationships, and at some point, maybe this person you realize has a ceiling and has a floor that they just do not go through. They bang off, and so you end up having these arguments, these fixed energies. You are doing what you are meant to do and reaching higher, reaching lower, exploring these spirals throughout every experience, expanding the consciousness within those spirals of life. Yet you're with somebody who is absolutely fixed in belief system, in how things should be, how things should look, how things should work. And so this is where you meet with conflict. And so very often I come across people through the spiritual coaching in the spiritual community that have had some sort of awakening, some sort of ignition, some sort of spark that has lifted off for them this glass ceiling, and they've managed to go through it because they've probably been under it, in the floor of themselves. Dark night of the soul is very often this switch on moment, but they're still with somebody and still try and make it work. This is the Two of Pentacles. They're trying to balance it because this person then that they're with is maybe fixed here. And when anything goes above this part of the spiral, this experience, anything goes below it, this is where conflict comes in, and they find themselves starting through empathy and through kindness, trying to fix themselves in the same aspect, in this same level, to try and, you know, make the relationship work, to try and fight for the relationship. I mean, that's a crazy saying in itself, you know, you fight for the relationship. This person here is in fixed energy. It's in a fixed space and time. And so you often see within this space that people who, partners who have become drug addicts or become alcoholics because they maybe find themselves losing it. They don't like the fact that they if they ever reach higher above this point or lower below this point, so they seek to stay the same. So if they've come across within their experience some kind of substance and they seek to stay in that same space of the first buzz that they got, this is where your life literally gets stuck here too. And you'll find yourself going with it for a little while, but you know, life takes over, and even this person who is fixed gets more and more exaggerated in this point that they are fixed in. This is where spirals start to coil down, they start to implode. And so at that point, the person that's looking at you in flow and in appreciation of newness and renewal and growth starts to actually despise that. They start to actually despise the flow that you are in. And so again, even more so, you try and fix that part of your spiral, that part of your DNA, and negate all of this and try and forget all of this, trying to forget all of the other aspects of self that you have already discovered, and all of the other aspects that your subconscious knows are there to discover. And so this is a state where you start to become stagnant in your own self. You start to be a poison to your own self. And so it takes some kind of implosion to wake people up enough to see that this relationship is not all that there is. The indoctrination is that this is all that there is. This is how it should be. There has been a contract, a marriage that has fixed these two spirals together, as in like the Two of Cups. This has been within a system of falsehood, though, where spirals are natural and we find them in every aspect of nature, and for most part every aspect of this universe that we are in, as far as I can see, is that we've found with this hijack is that these systems seek to again box off certain aspects of the being and keep them in whatever box that is. So say this is marriage, this is a contract. It's been made with a falsehood that sort of doesn't give reference to the flow of life. Because where a person is ever changing, we have a lot of people now in this construct. We've gone so far down this line that I've noticed a lot of people are so fixed. They have actually lost the ability to spiral and do it freely and in flow. They've lost the ability to jump on that slide of a new experience and spiral down it and discover what it holds. So they stay in these boxes and they stay in these contracts, and they expect you to too. And this is part of the Two of Pentacles that I've been picking up, this separation of two material aspects of life within this realm, in that it's becoming more and more apparent that this has become a time of big awakening for many, many people, where they are recognizing the power within their own spirals, within their own experiences, within their own knowledge that is held in their DNA. So you see that we have a lot of people really switching on and coming online right now, but we also have a lot of people on the other aspect of it, where we are picking up on the natural cycle change that is occurring and reacting as so. There has been, again, this falsehood, this veil put over this manufactured cycle change, which is taking everything into yet another box, yet another system, yet another computer, yet another virtual reality. And so we see that we are existing in this realm with people who have already signed up to be in that box, to be in that very fixed energy. Now, within this fixed energy, because the construct is their father, because the construct has become their mother, the systems have become their mother, these people have actually already, before this special infusion, have already signed up consciously to negate all of this aspect, all of this aspect of the line that they were passed down, of the DNA that they were passed down. They are animated by something else. They are animated by a black cube. They are animated by a circuit board now, rather than there being that spark of life that is in flow and ever changing. That tree that goes around something with its roots, goes around an obstacle with its roots. It doesn't just stop growing. It goes under it. It goes over it. It goes around it and down. It finds a way. Life finds a way. But we are dealing with many who have already for a long time negated their mother and their father, the aspects of this DNA that gave them connection to other realms, to other times. It gave them the connection to be time travelers, where they can reach back in their consciousness and reach back and gain the knowledge of ancestors, of loved ones who have gone before them. They've already given that away, and they've signed it over to this mother and this father, the boxes that they are quite happy to wander into, because that's what feels good to them now. And there are only small snippets. You know, when they're doing genome testing, they take out small snippets to see what it'll do to the DNA, to see how it will react. They are uploading small snippets of people and negating the rest. This is where there is a true detachment that I think is going to have real ramifications, for want of a better word, in both the physical and spiritual, what we call the spiritual realms. That it is going to reverberate, because a lot of this connection is lost. A lot of mourning, I feel, is already happening in our ancestral times. I feel it is already even changing for many, the past and the future in the present, as they say goodbye to the aspects that would be their natural mother, their natural father, nature, the connections that they have to their bloodlines and everything that they experience and learned along the way. So we've got this real separation where we are literally seeing and witnessing the reflection on the outside from these so-called powers that be, the reflection of what is happening on many realms and many dimensions, in that we have got many people who we look at as loved ones, we look at as fellow human beings, if whatever that is, and actually have to recognize that they've already signed up to become something else, to divorce themselves, to slice themselves from that kind of existence, from the existence that is the spiral, that is Lilith, that ever flowing creative force of nature that finds a way. This means they're going to be stuck. This means they're very much going to be in a box, uploaded up into a box that then they are signing over aspects of themselves to be patented, to be owned by whoever holds that box. I watched something when I was really poorly in 2019. I think it was 2019, 2018 it might have been. But, you know, I watched something, I got very, very poorly. Asthma got quite bad and I'd caught something. My body was fighting it off. And I ended up watching, and I never watch much TV at all, but I ended up watching something called Subat, I think it was. And it was actually, it's set in Istanbul, so it was all in foreign language. But for some reason, it was talking to me on a different level. The acting wasn't even that great. It was quite corny. And it wasn't until I got so far into the series, I was so poorly, it just kept playing and playing and playing, one episode after another. And everything about it was that these elite that held an orphanage that had been testing on those in that orphanage, that had thought they could control space and time by having this box that did just look like a black box. And I was like, wow, didn't know that twist and turn was going to be in it, but it tells me something. It tells me that these people, these beings, are manipulating enough people to sign themselves over, to divorce themselves from that is what seems more natural, into being part of a matrix, a made up system, a manufactured system. It does make me wonder, especially when I know there is extra territory on this realm. There are other worlds on this realm alone that we do not see, that we're just not allowed to fly over by. There are certain flight paths that we are not allowed to take. That's for a reason. It makes you wonder if they're not already planning and uploading, cities of these animated beings that can do the work that they are told to do, mine different aspects of this realm for the minerals, for the goods that these so-called powers that be want. And they have these biological beings that are uploaded into this box, and whoever holds these boxes holds the key to controlling the people, the beings who have been happy enough to divorce themselves from everything else about them, from every one of their ancestors, from any one of their family line that is due to be birthed in the future, and uploaded literally, patented literally, owned literally in this black box. Whereas we are in flow, we are in expansion right now. There are a lot of people truly on an exponential expansion of self and coming online, so to speak, to knowing themselves better, to knowing themselves more, and therefore knowing more of their ancestral line, both past and future, in the present. And so there is a lot to speak of with these spirals, and there is a reason that they are so interested in them. There is a reason that they are, and I'm not to the bottom of it yet, that they are wanting to detach many and keep the energy of many from being able to be in marriage, in connection with the other aspects of their DNA structure, of their spiral, of their line. I think it's a multifaceted answer, and I'm still mulling that over for sure. And so where does this go in that these spirals, where does it leave us, the ones who are awake and online and aware of self and seeking to have more of self understood? Well, it leaves us with a lot of space, but we have to find a way, I feel, to let go also and recognize that there is a level of mourning for the beings that are signing themselves over to this very manufactured system. But the wisdom to know that before they've even got the infusion, they've already done that, they've already gone, they've already made that disconnection, maybe just in this time that they have lived, or maybe their whole line for a long time has been slowly but surely disconnecting themselves from nature. My daughter said something today about it needing to storm. Paul from Newcastle, my brother, on YouTube, he mentioned that it was due to thunderstorm in and around the northeast. And you can feel the pressure. You can feel that it needs to rain. I can feel that I need to dance in the rain and dance in the thunder and lightning when it comes, which I love. You can feel the pressure on your temples. And so when I came in from doing the shopping, she'd said, oh, I wish it would thunder now. You can feel the pressure. You can feel the atmospheric pressure. And it would be a relief for it to thunder right now, to have that release of energy. So right now in the Northeast, there's this pent up energy in the clouds. You can feel it. You can feel the pressure of it. And it's like waiting for that climax, waiting for that release, where there is this relief and there's this freshness, there's this sigh from the sky of this renewal. There's an igniting from the earth because there is this water dropping down, nourishing it, and there is this electricity meeting the ground, electrifying the ground. So she'd said, can you believe, I was looking on the weather and I came across a thread of people saying, oh, can you believe that people even believe they can sense a thunderstorm coming? And she was like, can you believe people are so disconnected that they think people are crazy that can sense a thunderstorm coming? Why and how have people gotten so detached from that realm that they dwell in, the nature around them? How can they look at cows and think it's normal that they lie down under the trees, next to the hedgerow when it's about to storm, when it's about to rain? How can they accept the fact that birds, find shelter, insects find shelter when they feel that atmospheric pressure? But they've been indoctrinated so much, they've let go of so much of the connection, even their own ancestral line. If you want to look at nature itself, at Lilith herself, at the mother itself in the most vast context, they've disconnected so much that they find that crazy. They find that unbelievable, that people can be so connected to the nature that they live under, that they live around, that they live on top of, that we cannot feel what kind of weather is coming. Now, to me, that's crazy, but it emphasized the point for me regarding that there are a lot of people who are non-playable characters who have either been deliberately brought in as that for the numbers game, for the slave game, or they have slowly but surely over the generations given away more and more of their divine spiral, which is the connecting dot of, in this physical realm, the DNA that is found within us. They've given it away so much that they actually look at us as crazy because we can be in such connection with nature that we can know that, it needs to storm. I can feel it. I can feel it physically. I can feel that pressure building up. I can feel the excitement and the release when it happens, when that electricity and that water is released. I can feel the air sizzling and being ignited with life. If they find that crazy, this is where we do have to have, in the times that we are in, where these owners of this box, whoever they might be, I'm not even talking about the puppets or the gates, whoever the owners ultimately are of this box, whatever territory they've already taken over in the extra territory of this realm, that we do need to have the wisdom now to know that if these people around us can find it so crazy that we can be connected to the weather, then, you know, they've already gone. They've already signed up for this box. They've already given of themselves, the part of them that is in this physical realm, and they have disconnected themselves from all that was before and all that is to come. And so we do find ourselves in relationships where a lot of you are coming forward to me and speaking to me, and in a lot of the spiritual coaching sessions, having the difficulty of decisions regarding children and regarding shared children within that relationship, regarding just the relationship in itself, because now we have something that is ever flowing, meeting with a very fixed, already signed up for a box entity. There's conflict there, and there is not much resolving of that. The times that we're in, the energies that we're in, there is not much resolving of that. The only resolve is to detach from those that are in fixed energy, because that is a falsehood to what life itself is, to what creation itself is. It is an ever unfolding flower. It is an ever changeable flower. And it interacts with that is alive around it. And so we are in a time now where I'm recognizing more and more of being around the walking dead, the animated dead. And it's weird. It's very, very weird. It's particularly weird when you see it and you're in a relationship with somebody that looks like the person that you fell in love with, has certain mannerisms of the person that you fell in love with, but there is very little of that person left. And we fool ourselves that it is, but they've signed up, they've done, they're gone. They've caught that bus already. And so the wisdom for a lot of people who are feeling switched on, who are awake and aware, and are coming across this conflict of flow meets fixed, which is going to cause a crash. This is where there has to be that wisdom at some point to have that release, to let go, to be able to be in flow and not continuously be in this same conflict. A lot of you that I'm speaking to right now intuitively have been saying this very thing to yourself. This can't go on. This can't go on. It's like my hand is being forced now. This cannot continue. And so it's to just give you this video to try and give you just a little bit of wisdom and hope that it helps in you being sovereign and being divine and recognizing that you're not crazy. You see, when flow meets fixed, the fixed is going to think it's crazy. The fixed energies already think we are crazy for being able to feel the weather. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. That in itself is mentally ill, to be so detached from that is around you, from that nurtures you, from that could kill you or nourish you. Weather and nature itself is crazy. It's mentally ill. There's a detachment there. There is a problem there. And so we cannot continuously meet fixed energy with flowing energy. Things will get very messy. So in your individual lives, before shit starts to really hit the fan, and it will, get your life in line as much as you can so that you can be in flow and that you can be around others, that you can travel up their spiral and down their spiral in exploration of them, in friendships and unions that is a flowing energy, that is okay with change, that is okay with you developing a new leaf a new part of self, that is okay with you developing a new color that you are vibrating on, that you are in the frequency of, that is actually happy to see the development of you, the spiral of you continuing, rather than being around people that are already fixed and already signed up to be in a little box, uploaded, so to speak, owned, so to speak. So I don't know who this is for, but I know that I needed to do it. I know that somebody needed to hear it. So I hope it made sense, because it's obviously it's out of a vision, and then me trying to apply it to some kind of lesson to try and help and see what can be made of it for those that needed to hear it. So let's see what you're saying in the chat. Scotty boy, oh, I'm crazy, all right. He laughs. Let's see. So hey, my sister Susie Q, Paul from Newcastle, I mentioned you. Thalia, hey Thalia. Hello, hello. Gaia, there's my girl too. Peter Meteo. Oh, Jenny, thinking inside the box. I don't know if I've ever been inside a box. Peter, it's just, I don't think, I think I've always broke the box. Yup, he says, true that, Jenny. Gaia, no, all family did the nasty deed. Yes, signed up, you know. Talk about selling souls. It's not easy, Gaia. It's not, but that maybe that's one of the things that you needed to put this video out for you as well, in that you've got the wisdom to know what I'm saying. You know, yes, family is family, but you know, it's friends are friends. But you know, this is their experience. This is what they chose, and we have to have the wisdom to not let it break us. To accept that. Okay, so that's a that's a part of our experience within our spiral. Now I have to move on. I have to detach. I have to let go. And it's not so easy, and it's certainly not so easy when it involves kids. For sure. Friends are gone, for sure. I've found out a few friends have done it, and in a way it angers me for some, because for some have been coerced and frightened into it over need of medical treatment and whatnot, and over and I know that is manipulation, but at the end of the day, I've been putting out the information, and many others have, and so and then there are others that have literally signed up for it with glee, like virtue signaling that they've that they feel proud that they've done something. Ironically, a lot of them to save the NHS. Ironically, because most of them are going to be overwhelming the NHS pretty soon. So it is crazy. But when Abby said that about the weather, I thought, got to do that spiral video I said I was going to do, because it's, you know, how can you not feel a thunderstorm coming? You know, you feel it from miles off. You know, you can feel the sky getting ready, you know, and contracting and releasing and contracting, releasing. Then boom, that electricity in the air. Zzz, you feel it. Zzz, it's like love it. Posy, hey Posy, and beloved. Hello, my beloved. Tessa, hello to you. My kids are all grown. I only need to deal with one other now. Thanks for that, Peter. You know what, Susie? Gaia, sorry. I'm saying Susie because I know Susie would be on board with that for people, because that's her heart. But yes, absolutely, we can set that up. If you want to wrangle some people up, and I'll let some people know too. And can use my Zoom, or can set up, you know, a support group. That's a good idea for those that are getting to the point of release, to release those that have chosen to go down that path, particularly, like you say, for those that have children and grandchildren involved. Absolutely, hit me up, sister. You know I can do it. Scotty boy, good to see you too. Hey, Autumn. Oh, that is so funny. Lavender is lovely, Thalia. I've got so much lavender in my garden. Oh, and I use it for the smudge sticks that I make and sell. I love lavender. Lavender and mugwort works. Oh, perfect. I love the sizzle lavender does. Have I got any? Oh, I've burnt it. But the sizzle that lavender does, I love that little crackle that it does, and then the smell, lovely. Paul says, I find it funny the way people walk when raining. The funny walks. I love the rain. It is. It's like they do the waddle, don't they? Then they do the duck walk. It is funny watching people. I'm like, rain on me. I've danced in the rain many a time, much to the neighbours' shock. They think I'm crazy. My neighbours do think I'm crazy. Fire dancing 1 minute and dancing in the rain the next. Daya says, when storms come here, all our beautiful horses here face the same direction. Yep. Behinds towards the coming storm. Isn't that so cute? They do. Our horses do that. They do. Autumn, I'm still in PJs, can't deal with people. I know that feeling. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll deal with people another day. Oh, you've been picking the lavender, guy. Oh, I love it. I love it. If I see lavender, I cannot help it. It's an impulse to just stroke it and then smell. My granny loved lavender. Thunder, lightning, and hail too. It was storming for you yesterday, beloved. So did that make sense? Did that sort of hit a mark? Wow, Paul. The last thing I saw was small black cube fall from the window when I met my female side. I woke up, the words Lilith came out of my mouth. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, she smashed that box. Hey, big bro. Scratch, how can anyone not love the Geordie accent? I think there's many that don't scratch. At least I'm not what I would say broad Geordie, although probably am to a lot of people, but broad Geordie, even when I'm listening to some of the people you walk past, this sounds like a foreign language. It's like Gandun Toon, aye, yeah, aye, right, okay then, mate. Aye, I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. I'll be there in 5. But it's a lot faster and a lot different. Oh my god, I can't believe I've just done that. I'm gonna have to rewatch. No problem, Thalia. Walk dealer, Pinkarissa. Like that name. Jack streaming. Hey to you. Hey, hey, hey to everybody. I think I've got everybody. If I haven't got you, I've got you here, believe you me. Oh, Solski's jewels. Soul's eye jewels. Sorry, no glasses. Welcome to you. Oh, you beautiful people. So I hope it helped. Yes, we do adore Peter Pink. Arisa, we do. Red Honey, hi to you, beautiful lady. Mugwort got its name from flavour and beer, did it? Hence the mug. It is from a magician's chest. I've got it here. Look, Jack's dreaming. I've just burnt a load. Look, before I came on. I love it. It's very powerful. Very, very powerful. Janine, hello. Beautiful ladies. Thank you, Susie. She does me so well. She knows me so well. She knows I'll forget. There's the email if you want a personal reading, if you want any spiritual coaching sessions or any energy work sessions. A lot of people here can tell you I'm good at what I do. If you want to do that, just email me and we'll get it set up. Because I always forget to put it up. The white sage, yeah, Jack's, I grow my own and make the bundles out of my own. I need to get it sorted out on Etsy. Time. But I make it from scratch. It's in every window right now because I couldn't be making enough. And I thought, hold on a minute, why aren't I just filling up every space? It doesn't grow, white sage doesn't grow that well outside in the UK, not all the time anyway. So it's all organic. The only thing I use on it ever, if there's any fly problems or anything like that, is apple cider vinegar as a pesticide. I use that on the horses too. And of course, that's made from the apple tree that gives me abundant, it's a tiny tree, and it gives me abundant apples. And my mum makes awesome apple cider vinegar. She gets the mother, she cultivates the mother. It's like a little white alien inside the apple cider vinegar, and she covers it. She loves that alien little apple cider vinegar mother, it's called, and it is called the mother. And so you transplant a little bit of the mother into each batch that you make, and she regenerates and regrows. And so you love the mother, and the mother loves you. And so we drink it, we spray it on the horses, spray it on the plants, you know. And so I know when I'm giving people sage bundles, they're all organic. Nothing is sprayed on them. And so they're pure. Yes, Jax, I need to set up the Etsy shop because I've been selling from home and I could make it much bigger. I make wands, I make some jewelry, I make the sticks, the burners. So I need to set it up. I do, and I need time to do it. Homeschooling the boys, I'll be totally honest, has one, I wouldn't have made any other decision because I saw what was coming down the line. I pulled them out of school about 6 months before everything really started. But you know, it's difficult. I'm pushed for time with business and the boys, so I need to get it done. So keep a lookout, please. Bear with me and give me a thought when I say to you, it's done, Jax, it's done. So I've got that sort of in the works. I've nearly finished the website. I maybe should have just thrown one together, but I've done all my own artwork on it. What True Divine Media is still not working for you, Peter? I did something that Susie told me to do, and then it seemed to work. Oh yeah, there's a missing E. True, like true, not as in slang. True, TRUE, like Susie's put. Is that working? Let me know. Beloved says sip. I drive Beloved mad, I think, in a good way. Yeah, Jax, you know, then, you know. And I wouldn't have made any other, I'm not complaining, you know, I'm not whinging, well, I'm whinging a bit, but I wouldn't have made any other decision. Thanks, Susie. I wouldn't have made any other decision because No way in hell is anybody else going to parent my children. No way in hell is anybody going to take my parental rights away from me. So, but it did put a lot of things on pause. Just trying to find the time. Because over here, of course, you know, these goons that we've got in Parliament that get like £400 a day or something for sitting there and going to sleep in the parliamentary seats decided to nobody should have done what they were told, but they shut all of the clubs down too. So I was sort of relying on the clubs for the ability for the boys to socialize, my daughter's an adult, to socialize and get that, tire them out, different like taekwondo and stuff like that, and dance, and they all shut. And so it was so isolating. Then I've found these people that I've been doing the public talking to, and with, and there's such a beautiful group of people that are of like mind, and the children can play together, and there's not a mask in sight. They're just playing, and I could not be more thankful, because I was worried about the boys' psychological welfare, not having that interaction, that exchange, what they're like, puppies, rolling about. And so now they're getting that. It is actually a relief, because they're much happier through the week to give me a little bit more time to sit down and work. And Theodore's not like right here, as you notice. They make it all socializing difficult for a reason. There's that disconnect. They're wanting to cause that disconnect. And we grow from each other, and kids definitely grow from each other. They bounce off each other, quite literally. And so, their DNA is bouncing off each other too. The aura is, and the learning from the different types of people they come across. And so the mask for children not to see a smile is it's going to be shown it was far more detrimental than they even thought at the time, because they learn from facial expression, as you know. I see you as so laid back. You're lying down, Peter. Who doesn't see you as laid back? Susie's like, Peter's wrong. Susie's right. That's the right one. Okay. So, honestly, if I see a child in a mask, I've probably gonna have to fight the impulse to not ping the adult's mask off their face. Namaste. In a namaste kind of way, not because it's so ridiculous, so dark. They're pushing for offline too, for sure, which is why I've been building these relations in the community. For sure, Scratch. They're definitely going to be pushing for that. Thankfully, a lot of their ways of making money and whatnot are tied up online, and I think that's the one thing that's been putting it off. That even those that wish for harm, that have a lot of dominion over the online things, like the Bezos and stuff, are would sort of fighting that off. I think that's why that's been delayed. It's not so easy for them anymore, and so hopefully that will maintain. But even with flights and stuff, they told everyone in the UK, get that special infusion, you'll be allowed to fly. 4 pilots died, almost simultaneously. With blood clots, and now they're saying, some airlines aren't accepting the specially infused. And so, but people made that decision, and there's plenty of people like me, like yourselves, shouting out about it to say what the truth is. And so, but the FUCK us over in the meantime. So mask is a task. If you've seen how much masks went up, I did a thing where I saw masks starting to be sold in the shops. And I thought usually you'd have to go to a DIY shop, a online medical shop to get masks quite so easily. So I was watching that, and then they were like $1.99 a packet, and you know, just nothing. And then $9.99 a packet, $13.99 a packet. They made a huge profit margin. And then, of course, they've hidden a whole load of money, haven't they, Paul, in the UK? You know, saying they've spent so much money on PPE. Nobody's ever seen that PPE. So that's a whole other load of money, billions gone, you know, to wherever they've wanted it to go. They need to end up behind bars, scratch, and they need to be deleted from society for sure. They do. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this loop. And this realm is so beautiful. This realm has lavender. It has sage. You know, it has mugwort. It has beautiful things here to use and utilize. And it's happy to be in relationship with us. We don't need this overload, this matrix layer on top of it, like squeezing a circuit board into the beautiful moldable clay of life underneath it, like, you know, like coming life trying to squirm up through the cheese grater bits of the circuit board, you know, so let us live, you know, and they're pushing it down, and I'm sick of it. Sick of it. You need to just light up that circuit board. Hey, Jules. Jules says, I've become increasingly antisocial because I can't tolerate seeing any more masks, even now that restrictions have been lifted here. Yeah, when we were in the march on Saturday, there was millions there marching. Everybody was happy. Everybody was in connection with one another, bouncing off each other. And it was, as we were walking in like this river of people, I looked to the sides and I saw these people, Jules, in the doorway, and all of them were like masked up, muzzled up. And I saw them in the doorway and thought, I mentioned this on a video the other day, so sorry for repeating myself, but it really hit me of like, what do you think of us? Like, do we look like that mother, that alien that you do in the apple cider vinegar? Like, do we look like different beings now to you? Because here we are all, they were miserable. You could see it in their eyes. They were frowning, you know, from their eyes down. You could see even beyond the mask, they were frowning at us. They were miserable. And they were looking even miserably at each other, where there's us looking at each other and there's fist bumps happening, high fives happening, hugs happening, singing, dancing happening, you know, shouting certain P words to the politicians to Westminster, you know, there was all of that happening. It was happy, it was angry, it was passionate, it was related, it was all of the elements, you know, rivering down these streets. Rivering, flowing, rivering. And there's these people masked up in the doorways. And I thought about that. I thought, what do you make of us? Like, we look like totally separate beings to you. You are living in a completely different reality. You're walking around this beautiful city, which shows accomplishments of the ancients, you know, with the architecture, and there's these people who are revolutionary, not taking it, you know, giving it to the man kind of thing, and there you are standing there like in the doorway, glaring. We must have looked like the apple cider vinegar mother walking down the street, just like a big white blob, just, you know, blobbing down the street. We must look alien to them. And I can't be bothered with that. Hasn't got time for that. Where are you, Angelo? Welcome, by the way. Nice to see your name. Yeah, there's far too much confusion and distraction deliberately. Hey, Dick. They hate all that happy stuff they do. They were hating happy stuff. I think they would have been happier if we were like a big bunch of rioters, you know. But the happy stuff, phew, don't be happy, don't smile. What do you think this is? Do you think this is life? Do you think this is a flowing creative space? Who do you think you are? Where do you think you are? Crazy, 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 crazy. Well, yeah, you can say that you can't stand them, because I can't stand the space that they're in. And, you know, I couldn't give two tosses, you know, about the being, about the person, I've let go of that. But, you know, can't stand the space that they're in because they affect the kids. A lot of these miserable robots were holding the hands of kids. And you could see they were transferring the energy of like fear. And given any moment, these kids would have just bounced into the crowd and bounced along with us if they'd been given any kind of choice in the matter. But, you know, no, they're deliberately cutting them off from that aspect of themselves, you know, that fun spiral like aspect of themselves where they could go and explore, get a bit dirty, build up an immune system. You're in Atlanta. That's good to know. That is good to know. And you know, Angelo, it's Angelo. Is it Angelo? Angelo. It's funny here because it is these two separate realities that many people now I feel have woken up. If they haven't woken up, they're just sick of it. Suddenly it's hit a certain aspect of their life where it's affecting them, and you know they're not going to go with that narrative, even if they're not awake and aware to a lot of it. So you know, life can be so normal, and then you come across these groups of people who are like in working in certain shops or walking down the street past you, and they're in a completely different reality. They're still masked up, goggled up, shielded up. Have you seen those shields? I mean, thankfully not many people are wearing them in the Northeast, but those shields, oh my goodness. They're like shields that where the foam goes on the forehead here, and then the shield is like about a good 3-4 inches out away from the face. All that's going to protect you from is somebody that spits frequently when they talk. But there's air all around. It's and they wear it. They wear it. I have felt like during this time to just come up with some crazy concept like that and just see for a joke how many people will buy it. I wouldn't, obviously, but I've thought about it. I've thought about just putting something out there like just a patch for one eye to protect from COVID. I bet you people would buy it. Eye protection. Just like I could make goggles, but like just with mesh, no, not even a shield, just mesh, and say it's that, and see how many people. We could do a social experiment, make some money out of that from the robots. Should we do that? I think we should do that. I might make some like fly goggles, protects from COVID. Not making any claims, YouTube. It's just an idea. But yeah, like we could make mesh goggles and say protect and just see how many people buy it, you know. Plenty holes in it so that you can see. Ignorance is ignorance. Could make some money from the ignorance, Raven. But then we'd be buying into it. Would that be cruel? Would that be cruel? Would it really? If I was going to do good with the money? If I promised to sow the seeds from that money well? Can I sort of get around it that ethically and morally? For the sake of absurd comedy, John says, because people on YouTube can't see you, John, but for the sake of, thank you for still being here on Facebook, for the sake of absurd comedy, I considered wearing 4 masks and a plastic transparent visor. I might do that, you know. I might go with like 4 boiler suits on somewhere in a park or something, like a mask, goggles, a visor, and then just I don't know, maybe go to a lake with it and slowly just peel the layers off, and then go in the river, come back out, do something funny, you know. I don't know. It would work. It would work, Thalia, I think. We could make some money. COVID goggles. Makes you feel like a fly. You won't die. Buy these now. It's an idea. I shouldn't get these ideas. It'd be funny though. And it would be for science. It would be experimental. Susie says sip. She's off on one. This is how my conversations go with Susie. Okay, I'll let her talk for a bit and I'll bring her back down to earth. Angelo says, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. That's George Orwell, 1984, when they flipped the script. You know, can we argue with him? Nope. He called it. Kudos to him and his psychic, intuitive self. Or was he a part of it all? Did he lay the blueprints? Did he give them ideas? I love you too, Susie. Machina Mundi, hello to you. Thank you for a very spiraling evening, she says. I know I'm going to spiral away, I think, because I'm spiraling out of control with these ideas. I've got goggles on the mind now. I've got ways of constructing them on the mind. You know what, though? Just an idea for experiment to keep, you know, the ethics and everything straight and light and love and whatnot. We could just design them, a prototype. And the experiment could just be that to see how many people would want to purchase them, but we'll refund all of the money. We'll just say, sorry, factory fault, can't fulfill, there's your money back. But then we'd see how many people we could sell fly goggles to. Take care, Machina. Yes, take care. Okay. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for hanging out with me. The maskers are blinder anyway, exactly. Yep, I love you, Peter. He was love, question mark. Thank you for your time and wisdom today. Oh, thank you, Jax. Much love to you and yours too. And to all of the chat. Yes, indeedy. Food and water, I think if you're asking Peter, Stocker, grow it and stock it. Because they're going to do that. They're already talking about, we've got a shortage of lorry drivers. I could fill up those people with the people I know are looking for jobs right now. So, Shantae, beloved. Oh, you're answering beloved. Okay. I'm answering nobody then. But stock up and grow. Weed and water supply is important. Emphasis on the weed. It will make what is going to go down a little bit funny. And stuff, he says. Peace to you, Posy. All right, love you all. Appreciate you all. I might go away and try and get some more of the Etsy because Jax has given me that loving kick up the Jaxie to get it done. Thank you, Jax. I know you didn't, but I gave myself it through you, so thank you. I love you all. Thank you, John, hanging in there on Facebook, my friend. Appreciate you. Appreciate you greatly. One love, Talia says. One love.